Journal entry, 26th of the month of June, in the year of our Lord 1084. At long last we have returned to our homeland of France, only to find English bands roaming the countryside unchallenged, looting and pillaging. The underworld has gone quiet in these troubling times, and we have moved south to the court at Toulouse, mostly untouched by the troubles in the north. There I have made the acquaintance of Elie of House Bourgogne, a granddaughter of Prince Robert II, uncle of the King of France, a unique chance to gain access to the inner workings of this mighty house. After her husband, Guillaume de Toulouse, had been murdered, Lady Elie was to be married to her cousin, one Alain de Penthièvre, a pompous fool of ill repute, yet of her bloodline. Understandably, the lady was less than pleased with her fate, and over a good meal or three, I gained her trust and became her shoulder to cry on. From there, it was but a small step to a secret escape from the castle, and to make her forget her doom for but a few sweet hours under the moonlight. In my arms, the trusting young lady had told me of her sister Beatrice, a woman of renowned beauty and sharp mind, who curiously fell to a similar fate. Her husband, a hapless wimp, slain in a duel to defend her honor, and she forced to marry her aging brother-in-law. She resides at the court of Berry, and I simply must make her acquaintance. A plan is beginning to form in my mind, and I will have to consult with Guillemette and her alone, as this is too ambitious an undertaking to be overheard by eavesdropping ears. Indeed, the war against England is not going well for King Philip. William the Conqueror has won multiple battles very decisively, and it looks like France is to lose yet another holding in the north to the ever-expanding English. That means that House Capet is somewhat weakened, and after I have heard of my lover's sister, so let me see if we can bring her up. There she is, Beatrice de Bourgogne, who is residing in Berry, and who is renowned for her beauty and sharp wit. I think probably a woman after my own taste, so I will make her acquaintance, not just for a bit of a roll in the hay, but to see if she might have a bit of a more ambitious idea about what to do with the flagrant mismanagement of the kingdom. To that effect, we have moved our camp to Châteauroux, and here we may do two things. First of all, we're a little bit outside of the Duke's castle, and not quite as probable to be accosted by his men, and we can ask for an intercession with the Pope to reduce our to accept our piety and to reduce our reputation as known thieves, because I have a plan, and this plan involves us, or this plan may require us, to, at least for a time, forego that ill repute. So for now, we'll have a quick look at the church grounds and see what we can find. We'll go to the healers. I could get a bit of a health boost, or we could get something for disease resistance. Don't really need it. But some humor balancing might do me good. So for a small boost of health, let's have a look at the church and talk to the local monk. We could purchase some piety, but I think we don't need. We could try and steal some donations, but that is not something we actually want to at this point, because we are trying to get into the good graces. And now let's have a quick look at the garden. Do I have any stress to get rid of? No. We'll grab some provisions. I have picked up the trait of gardener on the way. It may seem an odd trait, but you'll be surprised how popular it is with the ladies. So it'd be a shame to waste these. And let's head back from here. Then have a quick look at the tavern. I've had a story already, so we don't need any more. Not interested. And with that, I think it is now time to pay the court a bit of a visit. But I may have to disguise myself. So first of all, one thing we have to do is we need to sent a missive to the Pope to ask for an indulgence. For 150 coin, they will reduce our gallows bait experience by 40. And he has obviously accepted that. With that, we are much less... okay, interestingly, maybe it hasn't hit yet. We'll see. Or it's actually over 100 and it just doesn't show. Anyway, the other thing, I have decided to disguise myself a little because, again, my reputation precedes me. So I shall be known as a man from the Northern Lands. Now, I have never been to the Northern Lands, but I have seen and met people from there. I have seen writings and pictures. So I shall be in disguise as a man from the far north and who is a wandering noble, and introduce myself as such. This also helps with, obviously, and this is totally not the reason, but this obviously helps with my balding, beginning of balding, so having a slightly different hairstyle might be fitting. And thus I have become Bernadolf Bernadolfsson from the far north, and a noble Norseman in the looks in the foreign country of France. Never mind that I speak the local language fluently, but it always helps to appear a little bit exotic. And while I make my first advances towards the lovely Beatrice, I have to further improve my prestige. So Bernadolf the Northman shall perform in a play as the exotic hero that he is, in order to cement his reputation within the circles of central France. Now, such deeds would normally be below my interest because it does not pay particularly well, but we're not here after the coin. After all, we have a vast amount of riches at this point. And the Pope has replied, "It is commendable that we seek to atone for our sins," and he has blessed us. So we have lost 40 thief experience. It brings us down, so it does not go across 100. That brings us down to 60, and we can still reduce that even further, but I believe for now this probably will suffice. Yes, we have made enough coin for sure to sustain ourselves for a while and enjoy our life. And as such, we have made our way to the market square of Périgord, and it is busier than ever with a troop of singers doing preparation. A wooden sword, one of the children leans over the dice, making a disgusted face. That's enough. The Count urges her to return to his side. I told you I would find a real hero for the play, and look who just turned up. He looks directly at me. An easy windfall, wouldn't you say? You just need to impress the peasants. Oh, well, I shall certainly play my role as the mighty Viking from the far lands in the north, and impress his peasants and whoever else needs impressing. My group is easily able to fill the various roles in these plays, and we will travel his country, play our role, improve my renown as the hero from the far north, and with that we are preparing ourselves for bigger deeds. And then he slew a ferocious boar. The drums grow louder as I make my way through the stage, trying to remember every play that I've ever watched. With my weapon lifted above my head, I attack a colorful puppet. The head rolls off the stage and the audience erupts in loud cheering. The Count nods. Well, that worked out well, and we can return to Berry just as autumn turns into winter and snow begins once again covering the landscape. And we will see if this winter bears fruit in more than one way. Duke Raymond has issued a contract for a significant amount of coin to fight corruption, bandits, usurious officials, and panicky peasants. Anyone willing to keep all of them in line will be rewarded. That is something we can most definitely do. So I think that is yet another good opportunity to both improve my reputation and make a fair amount of coin, all the while I am getting into the good graces and skirt of the beautiful Beatrice. Our first stop brings us to the outskirts of Orléans, and the peasants obviously are unhappy to be ruled, and I agree with them. But right now I am within the employ of the king, more or less, and as such shall be enforcing his will and going around to making sure that the peasants behave themselves. Unfortunately, the king is not quite as imbecile as I thought him to be, and he has found out about my relationship with Elie. That lady is just simply too trusting. I believe she must have talked probably to one of the maids, and these girls chatter, and that way word has reached the court of the king. So as such, he has gained a hook on me, which is less than I wished for. Very unfortunate that. So we might have to, if the king is blackmailing us, we might have to become a little bit more aggressive in our machinations ourselves then. So if the king thinks he can blackmail me, then, and he has still imprisoned his wife, the queen, who is an adulteress rather. If the king thinks he can beat me in the art of intrigue with his deceitful nature, then he's got one or two things coming, because I can absolutely, well, if I can't find anything, I'm sure I can make up something about him. It's not that it has to be true, it's just that it has to be widely enough believed. So we're having our agents joining in as infiltrators to fabricate a hook on the king. And then we will see about the whole blackmail affair. And as we still travel the lands in order to restore order, I have a new perk, and I can get the Seducer. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. I have gained the Seducer trait, and I think my life goal has been achieved. This gives me 3 intrigue, a bit of fertility, and a lot of attraction. It is not difficult to desire. The true challenge is to be desired. Yes, and Bernardolf the Northman is definitely one that is desired by women all across the lands. Next up, we're going to go down into Schemer. I think we don't need the abduct scheme. We can probably go down Swift Execution and then eventually down towards Schemer, but that's the next part. For now, we have duties to fulfill, and as we just passed by Berry, I believe I am mere days away of my attempts at getting to know Beatrice a little bit better. And unsurprisingly, I have succeeded. She has escaped from her castle a little bit, and to have an interesting conversation with me or two. And interestingly enough, that woman wanted it almost more than I did. And this is, I think, the first time that I feel like I didn't really have to do the job that much. And it's a new feeling, one that I don't mind. I definitely enjoy her company. She is a very bright woman, and a very deceptive little snake as well. So we shall have more than one pleasant encounter and see what kind of schemes we can get ourselves into. As we travel the lands of Bordeaux, I have learned of a secret of a wandering man, and while he is not of great repute, we can probably use that to, yes, he has been embezzling resources. We can expose that, and with that, we should be gaining some reputation. Yes, we are very close. 4,899 of 5,000, so 101 points away from exalted among men. And as we complete our contract with Duke Raymond of Toulouse, I believe we have a bit of an outbreak of the boils in Vienna in the east. We definitely have to keep a close eye to it, because if things go south, literally, we may have to make our escape for a while until this passes over. But for now, I'm done with Raymond's problems. I have excelled at the contract, and I have gained a hook on the king as well, and my glory is now widely known, which means the king owes me. Does he still have a hook on me? He does. He has been blackmailing me. But I also have a hook on him now, which might come in rather useful. And with that, we can return to Berry, and I think we'll be making our way to Castle Deol in order to begin our grand plan. Unfortunately, word is spreading, and Duke Guillaume VIII of Aquitaine has become aware of my involvement with various women of House Bourgogne, and is blackmailing me as well. So you, my friend, we shall fabricate a hook on for now, or we might do something more drastic if he believes that he can blackmail me that easily. Now the Duke has redoubled his guards, but that will not do him much good. Instead, my very, very, very capable group of followers is going to take care of that particular problem for me with relative ease. We have moved our camp to Deol because from here my plans will unfold. First, I have to once again meet with the lovely Beatrice, who is at this point a co-conspirator. So Guillemette herself and me are the only ones who know of this plan that has been hatched in my mind, but is very much supported of the ambitious young lady who appears to be with child. And that is most likely not the doing of her elderly husband. So we have a bit of a timer on things now. But the idea here is, and the plan is, to wrench the crown of France from the clutches of King Philip, who has apparently, his wife has died in captivity. He is all alone. And I think it is time to see if we can bring the branch. He's of House Capet, so if we look at that, he is following. He is the son of King Henri, so he's following from King Robert II. But House Burgundy, which is where we are. Through the Prince Robert II, the uncle of the king, and Duke Henri III, his nephew, his cousin. This particular branch of the house, especially Beatrice, is rather ambitious about getting the Capet branch out and getting the Burgundian branch of the house in power of the Robertine dynasty. So as such, she has agreed to come with me if I were to accomplish what she wishes for, because right now she is a mere countess, is she? He would be it's a relatively small possession and title, and none of that would match her ambition. So she wishes to bring her side of the house into power and to become Queen of France. And who am I to deny such a lovely lady this idea? Because this exactly matches with what I had in mind. Now we just have to deal with the king. And for that, he has to lose his war against England first. So he's relatively far. So once England has won, because otherwise we will have to fight England ourselves. Once England has won, and the king has been discredited, his wife has died in captivity, and then we can begin making our moves. And we are already fabricating a hook on his spy master to get him on our side. So that will assist with that as well. And there goes the big goal. That's what we needed the Exalted Among Men for. And it will allow my followers to settle down, my friends with their family, El Shanan with his children, and Guillemette can finally find some rest as well. And we can all enjoy the riches that we have accumulated over the past time.